Welcome back to another edition of Strategic Rap Intelligence. I am one Sir Robert Lee Taylor, and today we have a special guest on the show. One of my old-time friends from way back. This friend of mine I have known for most of my life. Her name is Brandi Davis. Today, we're going to talk about paranormal activity in the state of Washington. Washington State on the West Coast and the Pacific Northwest. For those of you who think we might be talking about Washington, D.C. No, we're talking about Washington State, up in the Cascade Mountain Ranges, the Olympic Mountain Ranges, up by Mount Baker, Mount Rainier, some of the largest mountain ranges in the United States of America. And for those who don't know, believe it or not, Washington State, if you look on the internet, if you check the search engines, you will find that Washington State is known for paranormal activity. No joke, people. Washington State is known for having more UFO sightings than anywhere else on planet Earth. So we're not here to talk about any bullshit. This is not fake. This is not a hoax. We will take polygraph exams. We will be analyzed. People will peer into our minds and ask us if what we are telling you is the absolute truth. And we will attest to these facts that what we saw, what we observed, is absolutely 100% true. So without any further delay or ado, Brandi Davis, introduce yourself to the world here on YouTube.
Hey guys, it's Brandi. How are you doing?
Brandi, give the listeners some background about how we know each other and how these events all kind of culminated into you and I, along with your sister, having been out on that night and having saw what we saw.
And I think I met you like in 5th grade.
Yeah.
Yeah. So, I don't know, that night, it was like the summer of 93. I'm pretty sure 93.
Yep.
And we were just out walking around. I lived on Lombard and we were just walking around. We were just chilling, and then all of a sudden we all just like, the sky was like this lime, bright, fluorescent green.
Right.
And we all three saw it. It was me, you, and Rachel.
Now, when you say the sky was green, I, like yourself, recall not just the little space over our particular, area of space, like our little bubble.
No, it was the whole sky, like we could see all over. Like where we were, we could even see like down by the river by Snohomish. It was all green for as far as we could see.
Right, the entire sky, people, overhead was green. We're talking about mathematically hundreds of billions of square miles, square meters, trillions of miles, all of space, not just the sky, again, over the houses or the trees or the tree line where we were. All of space-time, as far as we could see above us, had all turned for a moment, a fleeting moment, fluorescent green. Now, Brandi, give the listeners some background as to who you are, your profession, your occupation, what you do for a living.
I work as a case manager in a group home facility. I have 10 kids on my caseload. They're all foster kids.
And how long have you been doing this?
I've been doing this for the past about 10, 11 years.
About 10 or 11 years.
Yeah.
So, Brandi is college educated. She has no history of mental illness. She is a competent, rational, working class, professional human being. She saw this thing, this anomaly. I saw it with her, as did her sister. Your sister at the time was how old?
She was about 10, 11.
It's about 10 or 11 years old. It's the year 2010. I'm 34 years old. Brandi and I, before we recorded the show this evening, she and I calculated that it was approximately 1993 with the 75% probability that it was either 1993 or the year 1994. Now here's the strange thing. This is what we haven't, well, obviously we don't know what we saw, but what we have been able to deduce is this. Theoretically, one of several things may have been going on. However, one thing that still bears in our mind is that no one else seems to remember this event. If there's somebody out there in the state of Washington, in the Puget Sound, in the Pacific Northwest, anybody, anywhere, or perhaps somewhere else now, but someone who saw this event, please write to the show, send us an email, give us a call, Strategic Rap Intelligence, let us know what you saw. We're only interested in serious, legitimate, genuine accounts, because what we're thinking is that perhaps the U.S. military, as, one would naturally think, was behind this. But the thing that we can't figure out, the conundrum, the dilemma, is that if the U.S. military was behind this, other people would have seen this thing. Now again, every square centimeter of space had turned fluorescent green. And it was really strange because, if I recall correctly, it was just kind of one of those like group things where it was kind of like something telling us like, hey, look up at the sky. And we looked up at the sky, and I remember this vertical, this rectangular square, which appeared to me as just like a little rectangle in the entire sky. It just appeared, it like materialized. It was like a little rectangle that out of nowhere appeared in the center of space. And we were like, that's interesting. It looks like there's a rectangle in the center of the sky that's coming out of the mist. Why would there be a rectangle in space? And it was do you remember that, Brandi?
I do remember that.
And it was different. It was a different color than the rest of the entire sky. And we're like, wow, something kind of drew our attention to look up at the sky, and here this rectangular band of light is beginning to emerge out from behind the rest of space, and it was like a blue, it was like a dark blue, but with this it was like illuminated. It was like dark blue that became kind of this twilight blue, and we were like, huh? And then all of a sudden it was like, pshoo! And the entire sky fucking turned green, and I remember it flashed like 4 times. It was like, woom, 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 woom. And the last time, it froze. It just, the entire expanse of space itself was frozen fluorescent green for like a second or two, like 2 seconds. And then it was gone, and it was back to fucking black. How did you feel at that time, Brandi? Like, how did you feel at that time, Brandi?
So we were just standing there in awe. Like, it was kind of like, what the hell is going on? Like, we didn't even say anything for a couple minutes to each other. We just kind of like sat there and like stared at the sky, because it was just like, what is this? And then I remember waiting for the paper the next day to read to see what was going on, if anybody else, had reported it. There was nothing in the paper or on the news. It was the weirdest thing. Like, nobody knew that this happened.
And to this day, as far as we know, I was having a conversation with Brandi, and she brought it to my attention. She said, do you remember when the sky turned green? And I said, we have to put this on the air. We have to bring this to the people's attention, because this is important. This happened, and it's a strange phenomenon, because as far as we could see, the entire sky over the United States of America was green, fluorescent green, yet we're the only ones who saw it. So one of our other theories is that somehow there was this phenomenon of group hallucination, but we've ruled that out, because we saw what we saw. We were not on drugs. We were not inebriated. It was just a regular day in what we believe was the summertime, or it was a regular evening of us just out for a casual walk, just getting some exercise, and this thing occurred. And so there are other instances of strange sightings and things in Washington State that we can talk about at a later time. But again, we just wanted to bring this to the readers, the viewers, and the audience's attention, and let you know that this is something that we saw, and perhaps there's someone out there who can provide some kind of input, and maybe there's someone else who saw this thing. So let us know. Strategic Rap Intelligence, thanks for having you on the show, Brandi.
Thank